probably don't even need an answer, because I'm asking later when we look at it, but, no grants, you just mentioned we need to get grants on line 569 and 599. There shows no grants coming in at all.
Well, not at this time, we're gonna
So
apply
are
for
you gonna
some.
budget, or thinking about trying to put a budget on this? Maybe, cross your fingers, maybe might get
Well,
something.
we had some money, we have money in the park to add to something. We do wanna put playground equipment, we're hoping we can get some kind of grant on that.
I don't know the dollar amount yet, Ed, so I didn't put that in because I'm hoping that we can go to the state
Yeah.
for some of that grant money.
Okay, 634, that is engineering recovery. I noticed there was nothing in 23, 24, 20,000 in 2024, 25, nothing again, activity, so is that correct?
We broke that out because one of those is for land development or their reviews for like site plans, et cetera.
Yeah.
And then the other one is for in the building department if they go for inspection. So that's why we broke it out, so that we could keep track which one is going where.
Okay, the 20,000 and the column budget was 60,000, is that correct? Is that normal, okay? And again, I'm just
That's in
asking
the
because,
building, I understand, but that's in the building and they have 2 site plans now to go through.
Mhm.
So I think that they're estimating that based on the site plans that the township board approved, but I can double check with Jane.
and 696 reserve funds. I noticed there's nothing in 23 and basically nothing 24, 25, but it jumped to 133. Is that something to look into, or is it just, is it on the computer and it's?
It was in the budget for 24, 25, and it's carried over to 25, 26, and basically things that we didn't
You didn't use
need
it, you didn't use it, it's there. And the last one, and I'm sorry to ask all these
No,
questions,
no,
it kind
no.
of brings back memories 4 years ago, but 699, transfer, let's see, general fund carryover, where am I at, .699.
General fund carryover is about.
Yeah, right there, third from the last. I noticed it went down,
Yes.
is that expected, surprise, no surprises?
Well, it went down because what the budget that we proposed didn't really need the 355. So as you can see, we're ending it at 0. So yeah, that's all we need to balance the budget.
That's it, voila.
Yeah, we're, actually, like you say, we're not using as much this next year, we don't have that. You know, we had a lot of expenses last year with the pickleball court, all that different stuff, that stuff's done now.
And it actually might go down some more. Mike, did you want to change that one number?
If you look at the state revenue sharing, line item 574, the original projection was quite a bit less than what we'd seen in the past. So I went to the state revenue sharing projected list, because obviously the state's not going to decide what they're going to pay for 25 until we're already well into 2025. And they're showing us that we could, and again, this is a projection, this is not written in stone, could be as high as almost $627,000. So if you wanted to adjust that upward somewhat, it would not be a bad thing. I'd suggest maybe 610,000
From the 592?
from the 592, just because I think we'll be in the ballpark at that point. The distributions from the state for revenue sharing hinge on timing and sales tax revenues and things like that. So there's nothing, in the past, the state legislature has contributed money to that fund, but we don't see that on the horizon this year. And then what they didn't do it last year.
And the last thing, Mike, I mentioned it to you, and I don't think it has to go any farther, but that 36,000 on page 4 or 16.
That was in the wrong column.
Yeah, 754. Where am I? Yeah, 754 should be put on 806. You see
Show
that?
me again.
Yeah, there was
754, you got 30 on page 4, 36,000.
For office
From
supplies.
Hong Kong, should be right here.
Thank you.
That's just a typo error, it's not a big deal.
well, it's a good
Thank you,
point.
thank you.
Eagle eye Ed there,
No, Mike.
Good. No, very,
Everybody, yes.
very good. That's why
Everybody.
we're going through this on a dry run here, okay?
But bottom line is, I sent all three of you an email saying, I think it's an excellent job. It's outstanding. Easy to read.
Okay, so,
I didn't see where we had the proposal for, like, if we wanted to add to the clerk's position, and is that in the budget? I don't see
It
that.
is, so if you go to page 2, under general administration, you're going to see where I increased wages clerical. It does say part-time.
Oh, I see.
I'm gonna have to change that, so I increased it to the 88,000 to cover a person, and then I also increased the, to 10,000, where'd it go? On insurance.
Employers.
Yeah, by 10,000. So her or his actuality, his, will be in this general administration account.
just a little history on that. Back 2008-9, we did have 2 full-time people, but then we went to 1 full-time and 2 part-time. But now it's become so busy in there that with the elections and everything, and how the state has changed everything. So now 1 part-time person is leaving, okay, and then we're going to have 2 full-time and 1 part-time. So, and it is needed. We've done this. When was it that we got rid of the 2 full-time? That was back in 2009,
During COVID.
2006.
2006. So.
Who knows?
Because I told the board, when I had enough, I would come back to the board and say, we can't handle it anymore, and we're past that level, we can't handle it anymore.
So, in 2008, when I came in, we did have 2 part-time people, right?
Is there consensus to change the 592 to 610?
Anybody oppose that?
No.
Okay.
And then also, by changing that, I'm also going to be changing the general fund carryover by that amount, so it'll be less. Okay, I just wanted to make sure that there was
Okay.
consensus with that.
Okay, well, there's nothing needed. I would like everybody to go over this, especially Ed, because he has been picking up on this stuff.
Can we talk about this first before we close?
Which one now?
The payroll that's being proposed, I wanted everybody to see the resolutions that'll be forward in January. But then when we get to the trustees, so if we did the 4.9%, it comes to 209.80, or do we want to do the
Where's
250?
that at?
You're gonna have
Look
to
at.
catch everybody up on where you are.
It's on the very last sheet. Got it in the. She just got a sheet in here. If you look in your
It shows everybody's wages.
wages there.
Now, Bruce, is that where the 250 comes in right here on this page?
Yep.
Yep.
So we changed that to 250.
And that's why I'm just rounding it up to an even number.
So we're changing that to 250.
250.
Is there
correct.
consensus to
Everybody
change
okay
that for
with that?
250?
And then below that will be 150 for the ZBA PC.
Yep. Or any other?
Any other
appointed
meeting.
Okay, so I'm gonna make those changes, and then the following page, when I was completing this, I noticed that the office assistant and the 2-year and the 3-year are significantly above general labor or skilled labor.
What page are you on?
What you got?
No, it's looking trustees.
It's page 2 of this last resolution.
Thank you.
What page? Yeah.
No.
Yes. 7233, up down at the bottom.
Yeah, okay.
So do we want to bring general labor and skilled labor up to the same as the office assistants, or do we want to keep it at the lower rate?
So who's this going to affect?
Skilled labor, including the sexton, would go from 1937 to 2029, so it would be Art if he comes back, hopefully. General labor is whenever we call somebody just to say, hey, we need your help. We don't really have an agreement, we don't use them all the time. It would, currently, they would be at 1733 at 4.9.
You mean I could be making 1733 while I'm up on the roof
Yeah,
cleaning the gutters, general labor? I had no idea. So,
You told everybody you were skilled.
I know.
Oh, what a change.
That's why they were holding the ladder when I walked
so it
out.
doesn't really affect the township too much because we don't use those, but I just thought that there is a disparity there. Do we want to catch them up or do we want to keep
Catch
it
'em.
low?
Catch them up. You know, nobody's gonna come and do anything for us for $15 an hour, or $16 an hour.
So it'll be 1854 and 2029, the same as above?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna take those out. And then the fire department gave us their wage resolution and they're showing all the categories that they're proposing to change. I got my answers.
On these wage resolutions, a lot of the dates need to be reviewed. It looks like the first half of it was updated to 2025, 2026, and then the rest still talks about last January.
Yep, thank you. I will go through those again.
And then, I just don't remember this. Is this something different where it says, now therefore be it resolved that as of April 1st, 2025, contingent upon adequate budget means to fund them, the salaries and fees? I don't remember it ever saying that. It always
It's been in there for a very long time.
It's kind of strange. It sounds like if we don't have the money, you don't get paid.
So it's not a process, I guess?
Well, it's kind of Pinterest.
Bruce put that in
Yeah.
there for Cassie.
No,
Anyway.
no,
Okay.
it doesn't mean that. It means that 5 of us get paid and 2 won't. That's all.
I mean, it's sort of like you shouldn't have employees that you can't pay.
I wish I had a camera that could have taken turns look
It's
like
something
that.
we want to do.
That makes
I
sense.
just never noticed that before.
Yeah,
Well, because we can't run a deficit, okay? We have to have the money.
We can't have employees if we can't pay.
That's it.
That's why she's the trustee.
Uh-huh. Okay, what else? Was there anything else?
that was it. I just needed clarification.
Okay.
Wants to-
Anyway, then we'll bring this back, everybody look at it, and
Okay.
we're making progress, okay? Very
We vote
good.
on this in March?
Pardon?
We vote on this in March?
Yeah, it has to be done in March, by the last of March. So, but we may vote on it even before we get it done, February.
Yeah, before would be better.
Yeah. Okay, we'll move on to item number 4. Approval of the budget public hearing date.
I'll make a motion that we make the public hearing date January the 21st, 2025.
Support.
Okay, so that'll be what, January what?
21st, 2025.
That is not the holiday, right?
It's the day after.
Day after, okay.
So we're meeting on a Tuesday in January?
Yeah, it's Tuesday.
Looks like it, doesn't it?
Okay, we have a motion, do we have a second? Linda seconded it, any discussion? Not hearing any, could we say yay or nay? Everyone in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Then it carries, okay, we'll move on to item number 5.
I read this pretty closely. I like it. I'd like to make a motion that we.
Well, let me read it first. Number 5?
Yeah.
Okay. Approved to reinstate the full-time position in the clerk's office. You are speedy. I'm taking lessons from you. Okay.
Yeah, a 15-minute
Okay.
CBA meeting is pretty good. We're trying 15 minutes.
This is approved to reinstate the full-time position in the clerk's office and indicated, like I said, it is getting much, much busier, and I believe that we do need to get a second person in the clerk's office full-time. The deputy clerk in there has been doing a great job, but his hands are full. He can't really take on much more, and we're at this point where we definitely have to. And I would just say, and I'm just giving this food for thought, but someday down the road, we're gonna have to talk about, benefits. Maybe not at this time, but someday down the road, we're gonna have to talk about family benefits on the health care and stuff like that. Because as you know, healthcare keeps rising, and I'm just saying, down the road, that's something we might all wanna think about. Not at this particular time, because I don't think we're gonna get anybody here to hire on unless we do offer benefits. But when we do offer benefits for a whole family, it's $20,000, okay? And whereas we pay for individuals, or we pay in lieu of, which keeps our costs way down, and I know that healthcare is gonna go up much faster than inflation, so someday down the road, we're gonna have to think about this, but not at this particular time, but I just wanted to bring that up. So, anyways, what I'm looking for is a motion to authorize the clerk to properly notice for interview and hire for a reinstatement of a full-time position in the clerk's office with legal approval of all the employment documents.
I'll make that motion.
Support.
And we have support. Any comments?
I've got a question.
Yeah, Karen supported.
I've got a question, Pauline.
Yes.
Did you want this, the 2-year, the cost included in the motion? 38,564, 42,204, and 45,885. Do you want that in the motion?
My ad, and I'm gonna work with Davis on that, so I'm thinking about advertising, depending on qualifications. So the low end is gonna be the 38, and the high end is gonna be 45. And truly, it's probably going to be the mid one, because I doubt very much if somebody with 3 years municipal experience is gonna come here for 45. I'm gonna be lucky if I get somebody for the 38 or 42.
Okay.
So that I just gave you is the range of what the
Moving that out of
ad
the
was
motion.
gonna be.
Okay.
So it depends on qualifications. Thank you.
Okay, so we do have a motion and a second. Any other comments? Roll call, please.
Mary Frost,
Yes.
Linda Garrett,
Yes.
Karen Gardner,
Yes.
Ed Brakefield,
Yes.
Mike McDonald,
Yes.
Bennett, yes, Supervisor Pearson.
Yes, and so that is approved.
I'd like to thank everybody.
We don't wanna do it.
That was
There's a
fun.
method to our madness. Item number 6, discussion on paid medical leave act. Okay, this is a tricky one. Another new law passed, can you believe it? Came from Lansing, I guess, and we have to address it, modify our benefit policy. I'm looking for consensus tonight so we can bring back to the board, adopt the next month prior for the medical leave act taking effect, okay? We have 3 options here. I'm just gonna tell you, number 1, I encourage employees to take vacation time. I like them to, take a little time with their family. I encourage the firemen to do it. I encourage everybody to take time off, enjoy their kids and everything while they're young. So my recommendation is I'd like option 1. I see that you can see all the other options here, but I don't mind that they bank up some time, but then after that, take the time. Once they get enough time so that if they do have an emergency, they have some backup time that they can take off. But after that, you gotta use it or lose it. When I worked at the sheriff's office, that's how it was. You could bank up like a year and a half or whatever, but then they wanted you to use it. So I encourage everybody to use it, because then you come back refreshed, and you need to encourage people to spend time with their families. But anyways, does anybody have any comments, or they want to discuss any of the other options?
Option 1 is similar to what we're doing now. It's on a monthly basis instead of per hour work. So this will be very easy for the employees to swing into, because it is similar and it's a separate bank. So I like option number 1 as well.
Does this increase our cost to the township?
Yeah, the state, of course, did that to us.
Yes and no, because we're not gonna pay out for those 72 hours. They're allowed to bank 72 hours for sick time. So in essence, right now they're getting 48 hours, and Bob did this, so the maximum that they could get, where is it? I didn't see it, oh, additional 4 more hours. So it is going to be more, but it's not gonna be paid out. So for an example, if they're sick, they're still going to receive their wages, but typically we don't hire an additional person to come in if somebody calls in sick for a few days.
Got it.
So it's not really gonna cost us more money because they're not getting paid out the 72 hours, they have to use it.
And we have the ability to make that decision that they have to use that time?
Yes, the
Yes.
state, when they changed the law, said that the 72-hour bank, it has to be a 72-hour bank, but we can say that it cannot be paid out. They just, it seems like they're just encouraging each employer to give some time off for sick pay.
It's
Did we
making
have,
everything so confusing.
we have any more discussion on
Do
that?
part-time people, get this with their hours, it's the same?
Yes, and they, of course, they're not going to earn as many because they're part-time, but they can bank up to 72. And the same thing would apply when we write it, that there will not be a payout for the 72, they have to use it or lose it.
And it's a good thing, because we've never given our part-time people any benefits this way. They do have something that, what is it, 1 hour for every 30 hours
Yes.
worked? So they do, and this is statewide, this is, so it's a good thing. It's just, hopefully it's not gonna cost us much, and I don't think it will. Anybody have, did we have a motion on it or not? No?
Just had a discussion, do we need to take action?
I kind of need to know what way the board wants to go so that we can come back with an amendment to the employee handbook next month that meets the state requirements. So there was a couple of options, and I think Bruce just picked number 1 because that's something that we're currently doing. We have a separate bank for sick time.
Okay, I'll make a motion for the paid medical leave add to, use option 1.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion, and a second. Do we have any other discussion on this? I think this has to do probably with money again, or whatever, so we should have roll call, please. Yeah, all right. Well, that gives you the right to go forward with number 1.
Mary Frost.
Yes.
Karen Gobble.
Yes.
Linda Garrett.
Yes.
Ed Wakefield.
Yes.
Mike McDonald.
Yes.
Bennett, yes. Supervisor Pearson.
Yes, okay, we have option number 1. Okay, now we're on to item number 7, approval of the fiscal year meetings. Once again, that's basically the same, except, of course, we have the 2 holidays in January and February, that moves it over to Tuesday. Any comments on this?
Yes. Let me look at it here. January the 21st, I'll just make a motion for the Truth and Taxation hearing to be January the 21st. You've got down here January the 20th.
That's the rule.
Because that's the 26th and we're going to be in 25.
Oh, I'm looking over the wrong one. Okay, sorry about that.
That's okay.
Okay. Why'd you say anything? He would have showed up on the wrong day.
I know, I've been looking forward to that.
Okay.
I make a motion to approve the fiscal year meeting dates as presented.
I'll second.
Okay, any further discussion on the meeting dates? Not hearing any, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? The ayes have it. Okay, move on to item number 8. Approve MMRMA 2025-26 insurance for $59,798 from the insurance account 101-261-838-000. MMRMA has served us well over all these years. They're great to work with, and we have a long history with them. I did meet with Tim, our representative, and I did get our what we're going to get as a reimbursement, and that's going to be $19,814 from the MMRMA, and then from the state pool, we're getting back $3,071, which comes out to $22,885 as a refund, and that goes because how long we've been with them and how many claims we've had and how many claims they have had throughout. I just heard that We all have to be well aware of cyber. I was telling Pauline and Mike McDonald about the cyber attacks that MMRMA has had to pay out because up north, two municipalities that they insure got ransomed, and it cost, they wanted $3 million, and they negotiated $1 million to get back all their records. So we do have a good system, and I certainly hope that we're taken care of, and we did move to a new system now. It's supposed to be even more secure. But anyway, so our total bill is $59,792, and if you, the checks will be $22,885, which will bring us down to $36,913.
Make a motion to approve MMRMA 2526 insurance for $59,798 from the insurance account 101-261-838-000.
Or,
Okay, we have a motion and support. Any comments? Roll call, please.
Ed Brightfield.
Yes.
Linda Garrett.
Yes.
Mary Frost.
Yes.
Karen Donlin.
Yes.
Mike McDonald.
Yes.
Bennett, yes. Supervisor Pearson.
Yes. And that passes. We'll move on to item number 9, resolution to support local control and claim of appeal against Michigan Public Service Commission order. This resolution will help those that are in the active litigation against MPSC, the Michigan Public Service Commission for Renewables. I think we should pass this, as we believe that the local authority should have some say in all of this. Anyways,
I would be happy to make that motion.
I'll support.
okay, we have a motion and support. Any comments? Roll call, please.
Karen Donlin.
yes.
Ed Brightfield.
Yes.
Mary Frost.
Yes.
Linda Garrett.
Yes.
Mike McDonald.
Yes.
Bennett, yes. Supervisor Pearson.
Yes. Resolution so moved. Number 10, resolution, an amendment for the Oakland County Sheriff's Office Law Enforcement Service agreement with Addison Township. The wages went way up. The Oakland County Board of Commissioners, of course, met just recently and didn't give us any time whatsoever to react to this. They did it after the election, so we couldn't even put on a millage if we wanted to, even though I don't want to. And sometimes the county commissioners don't move very fast, so now they're asking us, since it was in a big rush with them, now they're expecting us to be in a big rush to approve this. As you know, they gave us a 17% increase for deputy sheriffs this year, starting January 1st, which is outrageous because they're only giving the deputies a 3% raise. And 26, they said 9%, and 27, 9%. We were going to add, hopefully, a deputy. We were saving up our money so that we could hire another one, so that we would have a full house. So when a guy took a day off, there would be someone there with the other officer. But this all kind of went down the drain here because of the new county commissioners who voted to raise us that much, which is like 30-some% over 3 years, which uses up basically all our reserve. And so I'm trying to figure out ways to keep the same deputies or react to it so that we have a contingent here that's adequate, and not use up all our reserve money, because that only lasts so long. So anyways, the resolution adopting the 2025-27 agreement with the amendment to the Oakland County Sheriff's Office Services Agreement with Addison Township is what we're looking for. And of course, we'll want our legal to look at this.
Do we know what I mean, they increased it 17%, but they're only giving the deputies what are they doing with most of the money?
Would we like to?
I mean, did anybody ask them that?
I was at the county commission meeting, and with all of the, putting it in a short thing, the control of the county commission, I hate to put politics into it, but it has changed. It's 14 Democrats and I think, is it 5 Republicans. And the areas that wanted to increases are the ones that have their own police forces, and they thought that they were getting shortchanged in some way or another. So they decided to bring up the cost of the sheriff's deputies to something that they think is reasonable. And they dropped this on us just, you know, without any hearings or anything. We were not part of the discussions. The sheriff's department wasn't part of it. They just one day had a vote, all the supervisors who contracted the sheriff's department, we all showed up at the meeting. I gave a speech there, everybody gave well, not everybody, but a few of us gave speeches, and they still voted to have the increase. And I would equate it that it's defunding the police department, because they know that there's gonna be layoffs. I talked to the supervisors today, and already Commerce Township is laying off. Brandon is laying off, Springfield is laying off, and I'm proposing that we're gonna lay one swing shift guy off, because otherwise we'll use up all our reserve. And they didn't give us any time to even come and present our cases to them. So it takes effect January 1st, and they want us to approve it immediately.
So we're basically gonna fund the other communities that are underfunded?
Well, I'm just not sure how the chairman
Anybody's sure.
worded
how
it,
it's
but
gonna work.
I have my thoughts about it. I did give a speech. I said, you know, we do have Addison Oaks Park up here. And I told them, you know, as a deputy, I worked down in the south end. I worked Southfield, I worked Oak Park. I was assigned to all those. Every time they had a disaster down there, I was assigned in Royal Township. I did several 6-month tours down there when they indicted the whole police department. I said, you know, I thought this was all one county. And I said, you know, we have Addison Oaks Park in our township, and it's almost 1.5 miles square now of property, and we get 0 taxes for it, 0. And I said, but yet our fire and our ambulance goes there, and the citizens of Addison Township protect tens of thousands of people who come there every summer, but we get 0 help for that, but we're not squawking. And yet they're squawking that we don't provide enough service. I said, I thought we provided services. It's a county-wide thing. But anyways, I guess my speech fell on mute ears. So anyways, the bottom line is they got their way. So it was strictly on party lines. So.
If the board remembers, my dispatch contract with Oakland County Sheriff went up 17% as well. Luckily, our call volume is so low that it wasn't a big hit for us, but other multiple communities are $200,000-300,000 more for dispatching in 1 year that they've been paying.
It's costing Commerce Township close to $1.5 million more just to keep the same amount of men that they have right now. And Orion Township's in the same boat, Oxford's in the same boat, Rochester Hill, really, they're the biggest.
I heard there were 12 communities that were affected by
Yes.
it, mostly in northern Oakland. Is that true?
Oh, well, that's
Just the Republicans.
That's why, yeah, I didn't say that, but anyways, and so it is what it is, and now we have to deal with it, and that their first reaction to me was the chairman of the county commission came up to me and says, well, if you need any help putting on a millage, to increase your millage, let me know. And I said, well, that just doesn't fly in Addison Township. And I said, we work within our budget, and we'll work within our budget. So that's what I'm doing. Anyways, so we need a motion that we're going to.
I'll move the resolution adopting the 25-27 and the amendment to Oakland County Sheriff's Office Law Enforcement Services with Addison Township with legal review.
As you notice right in here, it says also that it authorizes the supervisor to amend the agreement for the starting. I have to give, in the contract, we have to give 90-day notice. I sent a letter into the sheriff's office stating as of January 1st or January 2nd that I was giving the 90-day notice, which would take effect April 1st or April 2nd, that we would be doing away with the swing shift. But the good news is we have one man that is retiring on April 2nd, and so that man on the swing shift can then take his position here, and he won't have to leave the station. So, anyways, that's in there also.
I've got a question, Bruce.
Yes.
And maybe this one should go to our legal over at the very far end down here. But if we say no on this,
They'll leave.
that's it.
Yeah, they're done. They'll pack
So
up and
if
leave.
one of us says no, or two of us says no, would that send a statement to them saying we're not happy?
No, my thing is, we'll let this play out. I know that the mayor of Pontiac, who was part of that party, he's very upset about it. He has a huge contingency. He and I both spoke, and we both spoke at one of the meetings, and he and I basically understood each other. We both agreed that this is nothing but defunding the police. Because when you raise the rates this high, everybody knows there's gonna be layoffs. And so this is no other way of putting it. It's, to me, it's not a Democrat or Republican thing. It's just somebody decided to defund the police because everybody knows when you raise the rates that high that you're gonna have to take some men off the streets. Simple as that.
I just hate to think that I would vote yes on something that I know I'm gonna either hurt one of our policemen, because he's gonna get laid off, or basically, paraphrasing, they're gonna voting yes to defund our police department. I'm finding it terribly hard to say yes.
I did hear from the other communities, and some of them are not laying off their deputies, they're laying off their command, because they want to make sure that there's enough officers on the street. We're the only township, I believe, that doesn't have a lieutenant. We've never put a lieutenant on. The other ones all have lieutenants and captains, but two of them are doing away with their lieutenants, and they're gonna be just like us, where they have a sergeant running the station and use the lieutenant downtown. It is what it is, but like I said, I have a funny feeling there's a recession coming on, and when recessions hit, then people start breaking into houses, and that's exactly when you need the men on the street. So that's why they're laying from the top off first, and if they have to lay patrolmen off, then so be it. But
Can we just make up our own police department?
the liability cost. Just the liability insurance alone. And then the pool of cars. I worked at when I came back from England, my first job was in Pontiac Township that surrounds Pontiac. And we had our own police department there. And every time we wrecked a car, we all had to double up because there weren't enough patrol cars, whereas the county buys patrol cars at 100 at a time. And they're all prepped and ready to go, so when one gets smashed up, they pull another one out while the other one's getting fixed. So you don't have that luxury with a private.
Like Angeles still has their own, don't they?
But that's a Crespi Estate and all those people. I used to
I know,
travel.
I've worked there.
I used to
in those
travel
houses.
around with him because that was attached to Pontiac Township. And I used to travel around.
We're not that far off.
With the captain, and at Christmas time, they were very good to him.
Okay, Bruce, so you say you've got it figured out, we were gonna have a retiree, you're gonna do switch positions with some people, so it won't hurt us too bad.
Well, no, we're going back to the 2 men on each, I say all this, but we're going back to the full contingency on our 3 shifts and a sergeant. The swing shift was a way of transitioning to putting more men on, so you'd have 3 men on each shift. That way, when one man took a day off, there would still be 2. Now, when one man takes a day off, one man's by himself for 2 days. Then when the other man takes his 2 days off, then that man is by himself for 2 days. But 3 days a week, there's 2 men on every shift, if you understand what I'm saying. It's kind of
Sort of.
complicated, yeah. Whereas a swing shift was always there to help. He worked 7 o'clock at night till 3 in the morning, so he helped on both shifts when the guys took their days off. But we're not gonna be able to do that.
Going back to what Karen said, maybe there'll be something like NODA or Pollyant Trail where we group together, because yeah, it would be impossible for us to do it, but maybe as a group.
This is
Down the
evolving.
road.
Well, that was the first thing that the chairman said, is that it's still cheaper than you starting your own department. Well, you push so far, maybe it isn't.
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, they're gonna be
Together.
in control for a long time, based on the percentage of the board makeup right now,
And it's
so.
something that they're gonna have to work out over the next couple of years, but maybe your point could work by going together.
You'd have to go with several of the townships.
Yes.
You'd have to go with like 4 or 6 of the townships together and make a central station or something and do it that way. But that's been talked about in the past, and we're waiting to see how this plays out, though. You know, the increase in 26 is 9%, the increase in 27 is 9%. And the county board just made up a number of, that they're putting 6% plus whatever the inflation rate is on top of that. They said, where'd you come up with the 6%? I guess they just made it up. So,
Tony made a motion to, I will second it under protest. We have to do it, but I don't want it to be on the record. I do not appreciate this.
well, I agree. I was at all the meetings, I spoke, and I'm not very happy about it. And we talked about it today. And there's another meeting, the sheriff's union is very disappointed, and they're having a meeting Thursday with all the supervisors. And I suspect that they are going to put out some kind of a statement that just what I said it was, is defunding the police. So, anyways, so my thing is, first of all, we have until January 1st, so we have to do something now. So we do have a motion and a second. So can we have a roll call, please?
Linda Garrett,
Yes.
Karen Guyval,
Yes.
Mary Cross,
Yes.
Ed Brinkfield.
Yes.
Mike McDonald,
Yes.
Bennett, yes, Elected Pearson.
Yes. Okay, and that passes. Now we're on to, what was it, the number,
Alternate.
oh, for the board of review? Yeah, I just got notice that one of our board review persons cannot be on it, and you have to have someone approved by January 1st. You know, that's a board where people come in and talk about their taxes or.
Yeah, I did that one time.
Yeah, yeah. So, in a real quick thing, I called up Tony Spina. He's been on the board of review in the past, and I asked him, would he do it at least for this year, and if he liked it, he could stay on or whatever. But and he said, by all means, yeah, he has done this in the past. So what I'm asking for is to appoint Tony Spina.
As an alternate?
And
As the alternate?
yes,
I'll make that motion to appoint Tony Spina as the
so
alternate.
Support.
the 3 people we have now are
Jeff, Bill Marshall, Eric Bissett.
yes.
And Tony.
And Tony
as the
Spina.
alternate.
Yeah, because not all of them can make it at the same time, so. Okay,
She couldn't do it. So these 3 will be appointed.
so we have a motion and a second.
Let's.
On that, I think we can just go, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, the ayes have it. Where are we at now? I got so much scribbling on my sheet here. Public forum, I covered that up. Anybody in public want to speak? Nobody in the public. Okay, we'll move on to Addison Township board reports. Anybody have a report from their boards?
No.
Yes?
I do for the Oxford Community Cable Commission. Their budget is down because the franchise fees aren't there, because everybody's streaming. That has been a trend that we've seen for a while, but now it's really getting hard. The station manager is going to be requesting, we only pay half of our franchise fees toward the cable commission, And there's gonna be a request to the board that we contribute all the franchise fees that we collect to the cable commission so that they can.
Every year we have that, since 2008.
But we're one of, I think we're the only community that doesn't give up the full franchise fee.
We're not having full coverage here.
Yeah, they have, this has been ongoing since 2008, yes. Well, we'll wait to hear from them.
You know, like Linda said, we're the only community that does not have full coverage either.
Well, they also asked if we could call and let them know when we cancel the meetings, because apparently these guys are showing up to, it couldn't have been our meeting, but maybe a, I don't even know what other meetings they go to.
I
ZBA,
usually send
planning.
emails, but I'll broaden it to include more people.
Yeah, I'm not sure how that process works, but it came up at the last meeting to make sure all the communities at least give them a call if they're gonna cancel.
Okay, anybody else? Nobody? Any legal reports, communications? No? Okay, I guess we're on the supervisor's report. All I have to say is I'm sure glad the elections are behind us, and our new treasurer's been doing a great job. He's been getting his feet on the ground, he's in there, and he's getting a lot of help from the deputy treasurer and the deputy clerk, and everybody's been very happy with how things are progressing, so that's good. And, I think in a couple months he'll be up to speed and things will be in good hands. All I got to say is Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to everyone. We are closed Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday next week, and we are closed Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday for the New Year's week, okay? So, but we are open Thursday, Friday, and, you know, that's important for the treasurer because he wants to come back money. You know,
The law says I have to.
I thought he'd stand outside and ring a bell and collect taxes, you know.
No.
But anyways, other than that, what I'm looking for is an adjournment because our next meeting will be January 21st at 6 o'clock. And Ed will have everything straightened out on the budget by that time.
It's already straight right now.
Okay, looking for a motion.
I'll make that motion, we adjourn.
Support.
Okay, a motion and support. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And any nays? The ayes have it. Well, Merry Christmas to everybody. Have a great holiday.